This is CBC Here and Now.
Let the people of the province know who donated to your campaign and indeed how much was spent.
Tonight, a message from the Premier to his replacement. Reveal who is bankrolling you.
Well, if you're in eastern Newfoundland, keep your shovels handy this weekend.
Thank you very much. This is Mrs. Sexton, Tommy's mother.
It's like a cure, being able to laugh heartily.
Remembering Sarah Sexton, a prominent HIV/AIDS activist in this province, has passed away. Good evening. Well, today marked the 22nd winter storm of the season. That's right, 22 storms. Today's storm brought strong winds and heavy snow to most of the island. It closed some schools, while others had a delayed start. Roads were slick with snow, slush, and ice. The Trans-Canada Highway was closed for a while today to deal with multiple accidents. So, Ashley, what can we expect this weekend?
Well, as we head into the weekend, we're almost there. We are going to see some sunshine tomorrow. So for parts of the island, quiet for the big land as well, as a ridge of high pressure sets up for you. Temperatures will stay relatively mild. And then watching the next one, snow looks like it will affect most of eastern Newfoundland, parts of southern Newfoundland as well, with some snow through the day on Sunday, continuing into Monday. And we could see some big accumulations with that one as well. I'll have all those details coming up.
A big boost for healthcare training in St. John's and Stephenville. That's ahead. Well, starting next week, if you deal with animal or municipal enforcement officers in Happy Valley Goose Bay, you're going to be on camera. The town says the cameras are designed to protect the public and officers, but tonight the Information and Privacy Commissioner is raising concerns. Here Now's Peter Cowan is with us live now. So Peter, why are they introducing these cameras?
Carolyn, it's actually the officer himself. Constable Larry Baker says that body cameras could be an important tool to help keep him safe. He's often working alone in sometimes difficult environments, and these cameras would essentially record all the interactions that he has with the public. And this is something that the council in Happy Valley Goose Bay has looked at and approved, and I'll let him explain why he feels it's important to have it.
We want to make sure that the entire interaction is covered. So there's not one incident. It's just a lot of it too is occupational health and safety. You know, because we work alone a lot. Late shifts we work. We're in abandoned buildings and warehouses. We're dealing with transients. We're dealing with intoxicated persons.
Now, body cameras have been controversial. Police forces, like the RNC, have looked at them and decided against using them. Other forces in Canada have decided to use them, though. The Information and Privacy Commissioner for this province says he was surprised, and in fact, no one had consulted him before the town decided to introduce these. So he's now actually written the town asking them to do a full privacy assessment because he has some big concerns.
All of these things can lead to the over-collection and overuse of personal information and contribute to the notion that there is no privacy in this world at all, in public, that we are always under a form of surveillance. And that erodes what I feel and what many of my colleagues feel is the concept of privacy as a fundamental individual right.
The town insists that only the constable and the town manager will have access to this video. It'll be password protected, and they'll only hand it over to the Crown if it's actually needed for prosecution. But Michael Harvey's saying that the town should hold off and talk with him and work through a full privacy assessment before they roll out something like this. Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Peter Cowan for Here and Now.
Well, the race to take over the Liberal Party in this province has its first official candidate. Former Deputy Minister of Health John Abbott has confirmed to CBC News he will enter the leadership race. He's 63 and currently CEO of the Mental Health Association. Abbott has never run for public office before. During his long career, he's worked as a senior bureaucrat and healthcare consultant. Abbott says he's not doing interviews until his official campaign launch next week and says he has the cash and the team to make that happen. In a statement, he wrote he can no longer stand by while the current administration fails to make decisions to move the province forward. Well, speaking of the race to replace Dwight Ball, the Premier has a message tonight for his party and for the candidates wanting to take over his office on the 8th floor of Confederation Building. Tell the public who is bankrolling you. Dwight Ball was asked about a controversial party decision today in Corner Brook. He was on the West Coast for a meeting of cabinet, and when they emerged, Ball weighed in on the Liberal Party's decision to have no rules for candidates when it comes to revealing who donates money to them and no cap on how much a candidate can spend on their campaign.
Back to 2013, what I did proactively was list and make public, being open and transparent, people that donated to my leadership campaign and the amount that I spent on my leadership campaign, and other candidates did the same thing back in 2013. So I would expect anyone that's entering this race that they would do the same thing now in 2020. I think it's reasonable, it's open, it's transparent. Let the people of the province know who donated to your campaign and indeed how much was spent on those campaigns.
The cabinet meeting today comes just as Ball and his ministers prepare for next week's reopening of the legislature. Ball says the first priority of the House will be making sure civil servants continue to get paid.
Is usually the time of the year when we need interim supply. That what this means is that people need to get paid. So we have a few weeks here to bring in the interim supply, which means that as people work and provide services to people in our province, they could expect their paychecks to be delivered on time. So this will be some of the discussion that we will have when the House opens. And of course, there'll be many other pieces of legislation that will impact services to people in our province.
And as for the support of the people closest to him, today Dwight Ball said that there isn't anyone in his cabinet that he wouldn't consider a friend. There have been reports since he announced his resignation that Ball had lost confidence of some cabinet ministers. Well, staying with the cabinet for a moment, the province's municipal affairs minister says government isn't prepared to step into the controversy unfolding in Old Perlican. We broke the story yesterday that dozens of jobs are at risk at the local fish processing plant, as there are fears the work might be taken out of the community. It's over a tax dispute involving the town and the operator, Quincy. The town has cut off the fresh water supply to the plant as a pressure tactic. Bragg says he expects both sides to sit down and work it out.
The province is not likely to get involved in this situation. This is a tax arrears, tax collection method that the towns throughout the province use on a constant basis as a method to collect any taxes they are owing from current years and years beyond that.
Well, the College of the North Atlantic is beefing up its healthcare programs. It's going to be training another 200 licensed practical nurses and personal care attendants, and it will soon offer a new advanced care paramedicine program. Here now's Troy Turner explains.
Welcome news for College of the North Atlantic and future students in healthcare. The post-diploma program in paramedicine will be a step up from the current primary care paramedicine practitioners. The program focuses on healthcare, public health, and public safety.
And the hands-on skill training provided to thousands of graduates each year is highly regarded. There are few places in our province or even globally where you won't find a CNA graduate sharing their expertise.
There will be 12 seats available in St. John's this fall and 12 added to the Bay St. George campus in 2021. The province says it's a $10 million investment. Students see it as filling a void created by an aging population.
A lot of young people right now are worried about what career they're going to have, what employment is going to be there down the future, because we're living in historic times in terms of everything that's happening around us. So to have a stable job, stable income is definitely a huge benefit, and everyone needs that to survive.
It comes on the heels of a ceremonial opening of a long-term care center in Corner Brook. As Dwight Ball's tenure as Premier comes to an end, he said the investments in healthcare are a source of pride.
My legacy will be one of partnerships, will be one of creating a fostering environment where people can actually express their ideas and about engagement. So in a very tangible way, I'm very proud of the changes that we've made in healthcare, very proud of now people are very comfortable in speaking up about mental health and addictions within our province. But that's part of what we've been able to do as a team. I just happened to be Premier at the time and leader at the time.
In addition to the introduction of the Advanced Care Paramedicine program here at College of the North Atlantic, beginning in September 2020, across the province, there will be another 116 seats added for practical nursing and 96 additional seats added in personal care attendance. Troy Turner, CBC News, Corner Brook.
Well, the province has lost a longtime activist for those battling HIV/AIDS. Sarah Sexton, who turned 97 last month, died this morning. The mother of 9 led an active lifestyle well into her 90s. She enjoyed bowling and dancing and played Scrabble and cribbage to keep her mind sharp. Sexton was the mother of one of Newfoundland and Labrador's best-known comedians, Tommy Sexton, who died of AIDS in the early 90s at just 36 years old. The Sextons raised money for a shelter in Tommy's name, which provides emergency and short-term shelter for those living with HIV/AIDS. In one of her final interviews with CBC, Sexton said she was most proud of her volunteer work.
You get all kinds of ideas about it, but I mean, when you see your child with it and see what he went through, you know, there's no way you can back away from it because you know that someone else's child is going through the same. This is a beautiful building. It certainly spells hope for many people. And I will do anything. Right now I'm knitting dishcloths.
As a fundraiser.
As a fundraiser.
Well, that last clip was taken from an interview with our Debbie Cooper, and it wouldn't be Sarah's last interview. Ahead on Here and Now, we're going to share the final sit-down interview Debbie did with the late Sarah Sexton. Well, turning now to some sports news. Just about a week to go before the start of one of the most extreme races in the world. Cain's Quest, a grueling 300,000-kilometer race, kicks off next Saturday. Riders will pass through some of the country's harshest conditions to win the competition and the bragging rights. Here Now's Meg Roberts will be there.
We're about to head to Labrador for one of the world's longest snowmobile competitions, Cain's Quest. 50 riders will travel through the wilderness in hopes of coming in first, but it definitely won't be easy. Riders will be battling injuries, frostbite, and fatigue, along with mechanical issues, whiteout conditions, and some pretty tricky terrain.
The race runs day and night with riders stopping at 17 checkpoints along the northern part of the province, pushing both their bodies and their machines to the limit. Teams from all over the world will be touching down in Labrador to take part, and this year there are more participants than any year before. Also making history this year, the number of female competitors. Organizers have made it easy to follow along as racers launch themselves into the wild and rugged landscape. A GPS system will track the participants in real time as they cross over frozen lakes, through wooded areas, and thick snow. But not every two-person team will cross the finish line. During the last Cain's Quest, less than half of the racers completed the race.
So we can't wait to show you what a thirst for speed, adventure, and competition looks like. I'm Meg Roberts for Here and Now. We're off to Labrador. We'll see you at the races.
A very special birthday is being celebrated here today at Brookside Intermediate School, and right next to me is the birthday girl. So how old are you?
3.
3 years old. We'll explain that coming up.
back to the program. First, we start with breaking news.
Temperatures are dropping into the minus single digits.
Time now to check in with our Carolyn Stokes.
It is just packed with people.
The company says it's picking up salmon.
Looks like an absolutely gorgeous afternoon.
Welcome back, everyone. Hi, Ashley.
Hello.
So we reported earlier that it was the 22nd storm of the season in the province. That's amazing. Seems like a lot. And today brought particularly strong winds, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at some of those numbers because they're pretty impressive, especially for the Rec House area. 181 kilometer per hour gusts was confirmed by Environment Canada. That was at about 1 o'clock this morning. And those numbers equally impressive for Port aux Basques, 123 kilometers per hour, Stephenville 100. And as you see, Green Island there reported a wind gust of 151 kilometers per hour. Now, those snowfall amounts from what we have so far, Burgeo saw about 18 centimeters, St. John's 11 centimeters, and then 12 in St. Lawrence. So it was a snowy day and windy day for most of us, but the good news is most of that snow has tapered off. Temperatures this afternoon quite mild as well, so it was a really wet snow. 0 degrees was the afternoon high for St. John's, -2 in Gander, +1 in Corner Brook. And we've got those temperatures pretty mild up through Happy Valley Goose Bay at -8. Well, relatively mild anyway for this time of the year. And then we've also got those temperatures staying pretty much where they were. So hovering around the 0 degree mark for St. John's, -19 up through Nain. You're in some of that colder air. Now, if we take a look at the satellite and radar, we do have some lingering flurries happening along the west coast and the northern peninsula. The radar's just not picking that up. And that's generally going to continue as we head through the overnight tonight. We do have those winter storm warnings still in place for Green Bay, White Bay, and then northern peninsula east. Green Bay, White Bay, you're probably going to see that warning end within the next couple of hours. And then we do still have blowing snow advisories for the straits, basically, or the strait. And that will continue as we head through the overnight tonight. So here's what the future tracker showing snowfall wise. You'll note that we should actually start to see some clearing as we head through the overnight. Another round of flurries will move through along the south coast, potentially the Avalon as well. But we're going to continue to see that snow for the northern peninsula as well as southeastern Labrador. Same through central, really, central Labrador as well as Lab West. You're still looking at that potential for flurries. But as far as accumulation goes, we're talking about where that heaviest accumulation would be, and it's still looking like we're going to see 30 to 40 centimeters potentially along the eastern portion of the northern peninsula. So that's definitely where we're going to sit. This will be through Sunday morning, basically fall through tomorrow afternoon, and then things should actually start to clear. So here's where we're going to be sitting overnight tonight. -3 for St. John's, dropping down to about -12 for Grand Falls, Windsor, into those minus double digits. Those winds will stay strong along the northeast, and then they'll eventually taper off by morning. Winds will ease along the west coast, and then generally light winds pretty much up through Labrador, Lab City, sitting at -14 overnight tonight. And your temperatures for Happy Valley Goose Bay are actually going to climb towards the morning hours, about -7 by the time you wake up. Now, tomorrow looks nice for most part, other than the northern peninsula, where you're going to continue to see that snowfall tomorrow. And then you're looking at temperatures, rather clearing skies for the most of the island, and maybe a few flurries for the Avalon through the day. Otherwise, not a whole lot happening into the afternoon on Sunday. So here's where we'll be sitting temperature-wise, or rather Saturday. 0 degrees for St. John's. Pretty much where we sat today, -2 for Corner Brook. Again, lingering flurries possible for you and along the south coast. And then up through Labrador, temperatures generally sitting in the minus single digits, -5 for Happy Valley Goose Bay with some lingering flurries for you. Same for Lab City, and -9. So this would normally be the last day of the month, but because it's a leap year, there are 29 days in February 2020. And for one student in Portugal Cove, St. Philip's, that's a pretty big deal. Carolyn has that story.
Happy birthday to you.
And you turn 12 tomorrow, but technically you're how old?
3.
Okay.
She's 3 years old. She's 3, she's 3, she's 3 years old.
So tell me about this party here today. How does this feel for you?
It feels really cool. It feels really special that I'm one of the only people in the school that actually get like a party, but I only get a party like for my actual birthday every 4 years, so it is a special day for me.
What do you do every other year?
I celebrate my birthday on March 1st because if I did celebrate it on February 28th, I wouldn't have been born yet, so we chose March 1st.
So tell me why you wanted to plan this party.
It seemed like kind of a fun opportunity. I think in elementary grades in particular, when you get an opportunity, something kind of special or different comes along, it's a nice chance to get the kids' attention. You tie it into a whole ton of different things in their curriculum and get them engaged, bringing things in from home, you know, celebrating one of their classmates, that kind of thing. It's a nice opportunity.
When I was 3, I was really into Imaginext and stuff like that.
They were presenting items that they brought in from when they were 3. So our birthday girl today is 12, actually 3, according to calendar birthdays. So we did some activities centered around being 3 years old and what that kind of brought back for them. So it was really fun. Yeah. So we have a very special guest for Sienna's 3rd birthday party, which is a genuine 3-year-old. We were doing coding in Scratch to make a leap year number detector, and there's a million math tie-ins, and they were doing creative writing about what their kind of leap year, you know, mythology kind of thing would be and whatever. So there's a whole ton of things they can do.
What's it like for you as a mom to, you know, celebrate this day with Sienna today?
It's so exciting. I'm so, you know, I'm thrilled that her teacher, Mr. Patterson, that he came up with the idea and to make it today about leap year and leap day and to teach kids about it too, right? Because so many people just don't understand. Well, what do you mean? There's no February 29th. So it's a lot of fun. It's been fun planning it. It's been fun looking forward to it. You know, like since last birthday, we've been looking forward to this year, circling calendars.
What do you think about the fact that you only have a birthday technically every 4 years?
Some people like don't understand it and they're like really confused when I tell them that my birthday's February 29th. And sometimes it's really annoying because it's not on the calendar. So I can't like circle my birthday on the calendar, but when there is my birthday, it feels really special.
I have good memories, and you know, when I'm here alone, my memories are a great help to me.
The province has lost a long-time activist. She spent decades educating people about HIV and AIDS after the death of her son, remembering Sarah Sexton. Welcome back. Earlier in the show, Peter Cowan told us about new rules that are coming into place in Happy Valley Goose Bay. Starting Monday, if you come across a police officer, you could be caught on camera. Peter spoke with an officer and town councillor about the new body cameras.
So Constable Baker, I understand this was your idea. Where did this come from?
This just came from, so currently in the patrol vehicle here, since the inception of the community constable program here in Happy Valley Goose Bay, they've always had a video camera in the patrol vehicle that records video and audio. So the concept of audio and video being recorded during interactions with the public is not new. There's times when you can only get so far from the patrol vehicle where you're out of the camera range and you still have audio, but it's not necessarily clear. So it's about accountability and transparency. And the most common misconception with the use of body-worn cameras in law enforcement is that they're designed to strictly protect the officer, and that's not the case. It's a 50-50 split. It protects the general public just as much as it does any law enforcement official that wears them.
Have there been any incidents, though, where this would have been useful, either when it comes to prosecuting something later or at the time when you're trying to, like, record the interaction?
There's no one incident that, caused alarm or anything. It was more or less just, again, while investigating complaints, for example, if I'm doing radar in a school zone, and I'm outside the vehicle with a handheld radar, then I don't have the ability to, record the interaction with the individual that I'm dealing with. I have to either walk back to the patrol vehicle to do that or this kind of thing. And we want to make sure that the entire interaction is covered. So there's not one incident.
What would you say, though, to people in the public who may be concerned about the fact that now anytime they talk with you, they're being recorded, everything they say is being recorded, and they may be concerned about who has access to that or what it's going to be used for?
Well, to put that to rest, the access is solely, so myself, being the senior constable, and the town manager are the only two individuals that would have access to the videos. They are stored in a secure location that is password protected numerous times, that kind of thing. The only time the video is distributed anywhere is strictly for court purposes during Crown briefs. It goes directly to the Crown's office. Only if there's a trial, because it's evidence.
Why didn't you reach out, though, to the Information and Privacy Commissioner on this and have a discussion with him about privacy before going ahead?
Well, there has been some research done from the town senior staff, and we've obtained information that we need to move forward with the body cams, and so we've done our homework. So we fully support the body cams that the town council do, the full town council.
In other jurisdictions where these have been used, one of the concerns has been that sometimes officers won't turn them on if there's an interaction that they might not want to have recorded. What will be in place to make sure that that doesn't happen in this instance?
Peter, we know there's not going to be selective recording. Any interactions whatsoever that Constable Baker will be having will be recorded from the beginning to the end of the interaction. So there's not going to be stop, pause, selective videotaping. It's going to be from beginning to the end.
Well, thank you very much for telling me about this, and good luck with it next week.
Thank you very much.
And that's Here Now's Peter Cowan reporting tonight. Well, it came as a shock to many today. Longtime HIV/AIDS activist Sarah Sexton died at the age of 97. She began educating people about HIV/AIDS after her son, comedian Tommy Sexton, died from the disease in 1993.
With a hammock and a beach. I could do that.
I hope to do that.
We last saw Sexton on Here and Now in June as Debbie Cooper retired. She wanted to give Debbie a card in person. Debbie said Sexton was one of her favorite people to interview, so we thought we'd replay Debbie's last feature interview with her 2 years ago on Sexton's 95th birthday.
Happy birthday, Sarah Sexton.
Thank you, Debbie.
How does it feel to be 95 years old?
You know, it feels pretty good because when I look back, I have good memories. And you know, when I'm here alone, my memories are a great help to me. I have every one of my brothers on a picture over there. I had 9 brothers. And they're all gone ahead of me. I'm the only one left of the 11.
So what keeps you going? What excites you these days and keeps you going?
Well, my family mostly. They're all so good to me, you know. I don't expect it, but they do, every one of them, you know. And they have a great sense of humor, and I think we can't live without a sense of humor. We must be able to laugh because it's so, you know, it's like a cure, being able to laugh heartily.
Is that what gives you the most pleasure these days, or is there something else that you're involved with that really you love?
Well, I love being involved with the AIDS people. This is a big thing in my life, and you know, that's what I do now. I knit dishcloths and I send them over to my daughter and she sells them. And I keep my brain going, playing Scrabble with Sarah and crib with the rest of them.
I want to ask you about, as you look ahead, I mean, the clock is ticking for you.
Oh, yes.
You got fewer
Yes.
years
Yeah.
ahead than you certainly do behind. Do you ever think about your future?
Dying?
And about dying?
I think about it every day.
And what do you think?
I think there's a wonderful place waiting if I can get in. I'm hoping they'll accept me. And besides, Tommy is up there. And I know Tommy can make even God laugh.
How important has your faith been to you?
Look, Debbie, I'm being truthful when I say it's the biggest part of my life, even when I was a child. And I thank God every day for how good my life has been. Do you know, I've met more good people than the bad ones. There's only be a few and I never think of them. I have one prayer that says, pray for the person you like least. I can't find anyone.
Well, that brings me to today, to the celebration of your life, 95 years, and you're going to have a party tonight.
Well,
and
we're
tomorrow
going down bowling. I love bowling. I don't, if I get 100, I'm happy with myself. I'm not looking forward to 200 or anything. But all my children and grandchildren are with me, and they'll really enjoy it, you know.
Sarah Sexton, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. Happy birthday again, and
Yeah.
enjoy your family and your bowling and dancing.
It's been wonderful, Debbie.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Turning now to some national news. With 2 more coronavirus patients in Canada, including the first presumptive case in Quebec, and the number of infections around the world still steadily rising, today the World Health Organization issued a new warning and raised its level of alarm.
And we have now increased our assessment of the risk of spread and the risk of impact of COVID-19 to very high at global level.
The virus is now in nearly 60 countries. Nigeria, Mexico, Lithuania, Belarus, the Netherlands, and New Zealand all announcing their first cases today. And for the first time, South Korea's number of new infections surpassed China's. In fact, China reported its lowest number of new cases in a 24-hour period. Much of the spread around the world now is being traced back to an outbreak zone in Italy and Iran. Well, no breakthroughs after a meeting of hereditary Wet'suwet'en chiefs and senior ministers from BC and Ottawa. They met for a few hours late yesterday and began a full day of talks today. Nathan Cullen was once the NDP MP representing the area. Now he's acting as intermediary for the BC government.
We're not anywhere there yet, but we're certainly in the right direction. So I remain cautiously optimistic for what it is that we're trying to engage in. And I should say that none of this is obviously easy.
We've got lots of work to do.
Well, that last voice was Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Carolyn Bennett. And while opposition to the pipeline has sparked protests nationwide, she says these talks are about the Wet'suwet'en. Well, most of us have had a major appliance break down. Well, a survey conducted for CBC Marketplace says only about 1/3 of us are satisfied by how a manufacturer responds when things go wrong. And that prompted a deeper look at how long appliances are lasting and how hard it is to find parts when they break. David Common reports.
You're shopping again.
This is the expense that I do not want to get to.
Mehul Dalakia is shopping for a fridge once again. His died after just 6 years, and he couldn't get the part to fix it anywhere.
It is bad.
Nearly 1 in 3 Canadians we surveyed say they've had an appliance break when it was less than 5 years old, though the association representing appliance makers sees things differently.
Our data shows, and it's been relatively unchanged over the past 2 decades, that the average lifespan is about 10 years for appliances.
Do you believe that? No. They don't last. They're not as good.
They don't last, no.
One big reason Canadians told us is how hard it is to find parts, even for relatively new machines. In Europe, it's a very different story.
And then over here?
Here, lifespan testing is underway, and by next year, laws will require manufacturers to make replacement parts readily available.
The list of spare parts, they have to be available for like 10 years. And then they are supposed to be delivered within 15 working days after a request.
These laws would give consumers more power to repair their appliances rather than buy new when they break. Consumer advocates like Nathan Proctor are fighting to bring that to North America.
If you want products that last longer, that are better for the environment, that cost less to maintain, you should want right to repair.
But the big brands are pushing back.
We are very concerned about the safety implications.
By not backing some form of right to repair, it seems like consumers are being forced to buy new.
Right, so we never want to deny anyone a choice.
Mehul feels like his choice was taken away. He wishes right to repair existed here. Instead, he's got a new fridge and a lighter wallet. David Common, CBC News, Brampton.
And you can watch The Right to Repair tonight at 8:30 Island Time on CBC TV, 8 o'clock in most of Labrador, anytime on the CBC Gem. Well, in sports, last night was an emotional and triumphant one for the NHL's Ottawa Senators. Forward Bobby Ryan was back on home ice for the first time in 3 months.
Didn't sell up for the icing, and an empty net. Hat trick for Ryan.
Ryan scored a hat trick in his return, leading the Senators to a 5-2 win over the Vancouver Canucks. Ryan entered the NHL's assistance program in November after admitting to having a problem with alcohol. He got a standing ovation from Ottawa fans every time he scored.
Knew Ottawa being the community that it is, that the reception would be good. You know, just got harder to keep the emotions down throughout the game. It was incredible. They supported me and I guess to contribute and I mean, you can't write that, right? The way that went, and it was just an incredible evening. So you know, I thank you to all of them.
The weather update is brought to you by Belltone, your partner in better hearing.
Welcome back. Well, actually, this morning as I was watching all the snow go down and cleaning off my car, I was just groaning, wishing that it was all over. But you've been kind of hinting that there's more to come this weekend.
Yes, I'm sorry. It has been a busy winter
Very busy.
for areas in eastern Newfoundland. But, you know, there's actually not a whole lot of snow up through Labrador. So as much as it's a record, you know, record-breaking snowfall in some cases in the east, it's not so much snow. But yes, there is more on the way, unfortunately, for Sunday. So
feels unending.
It does.
Yeah.
But there isn't a light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost there. Let's take a look at the future tracker. Yeah, you're definitely not going to want to put your snow shovels away for sure if you're in the eastern Newfoundland, even along the south coast. That next system will roll in Sunday afternoon, and it's going to bring some snow with it. Now, what's going to happen is it's actually going to stick around for a while. So we've got one area of low pressure and then another one develops to the east, and then we're going to see more snow with that system into the afternoon on Monday. Eventually that snow will taper off, but we're going to see another system move in for Tuesday. This one's going to bring some warmer air, so that's good news there. But as far as this is early, obviously early accumulations, but this is a potential that we could see anywhere from 15 to 20 centimeters, mainly for the Avalon. Areas west of that will be significantly less, 10 to 15 centimeters for eastern areas in eastern Bonavista Peninsula, and then through central it's looking more like as much as 10 centimeters as possible, even down along the south coast as well. So definitely something to keep in mind. It won't be super heavy snow, it'll just be long lasting, so that 15 to 20 centimeters will fall through Sunday and then continue through the day on Monday. So here's where we'll be sitting temperature-wise, just a couple of degrees below zero, -1 in St. John's, -3 for Corner Brook, and sunshine up through Labrador. Ridge of high pressure will dominate for you, but your temperatures are going to stay mild, so it will actually be pretty nice. Lab City, though, you're still looking at that potential for a few flurries. Kept that in there for you, sitting around -9. Flurries possible for Cartwright as well, and sitting around -7. Now, ridge of high pressure overnight, Monday into Tuesday. So we should see some sun for the first half of Tuesday. Then the next system will move in. The low will actually track north, but there's a little bit of a trough associated with this one. So we're going to see some snow for the island, and then potentially and more than likely going to see rain as those temperatures bump up into overnight Tuesday into Wednesday morning. So rain will be the story for most of us. And then the next one will roll in Wednesday night. So we are back into a very active pattern. This one will bring some rain with it. Looks like as far north as the Northern Peninsula, potentially into Tuesday or into Thursday rather. So definitely something that we're going to keep an eye on. Here's where we'll be sitting over the next 5 days. Temperatures just within a couple of degrees of zero. By the time we get into midweek, though, that's when we'll start to see those temperatures above zero with that potential for some rain. Sunshine on Monday for central Newfoundland, and then back to those gray skies for both Tuesday and Wednesday as the temperatures hover around the 0 degree mark. Western Newfoundland, same thing, but probably sitting around 1, maybe 2 degrees through the day. Up through Labrador, you're looking at temperatures staying mild, hovering around the 0 degree mark by Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we're looking at that sunshine and -4. And then for Western Labrador, gray skies pretty much, even though you'll be sitting under a ridge of high pressure, keeping those flurries in for you for the rest of the weekend. By Tuesday, you'll see that sunshine, but you'll be sitting around the -7 degree range.
Thanks, Ashley. Now for some royal news. Prince Harry was back in the UK today. He was in London for one of his last official duties before stepping back as a senior royal. But it wasn't all pomp and circumstance, more like rock and roll. Harry teamed up with the legendary Jon Bon Jovi for a special project, and the CBC's Briar Stewart was there.
In front of the iconic Abbey Road studios, a highly publicized meeting between a prince and a rocker. Inside, it was a slightly calmer affair. Jon Bon Jovi is here working with a choir of veterans, recording a song to support the Invictus Foundation, which helps injured veterans and soldiers. The Prince, who only recently returned to the UK, is making a number of appearances over the next week and a half.
That was awesome. You didn't even need him.
For Prince Harry, today was all about the Invictus Games, but there continues to be a lot of attention on just what will happen next month when he and Meghan step away from royal duties. Even Bon Jovi joked about Harry's pending status change, saying he could refer to him as the artist formerly known as Prince.
None of us in America especially know what it's like to walk in their shoes, but our admiration for his family, whether it's his brothers, fathers, grandparents, is deep.
After March 31st, Harry and Meghan will no longer do official engagements on behalf of the Queen, and they can't use the Sussex royal label.
There's also this question about, can a royal ever cease to be a royal? And Prince Harry is a blood-born prince, so it was ever thus.
While royal watchers say it hasn't been the smoothest of exits, those connected to the couple through their charities don't think much will change. Major Andy Kerr has served in the military for 36 years and is now an Invictus athlete.
What he has done is he's shone a light on the amazing individuals that are part of the Invictus team, and their resilience and their ability to get over adversity and crack on as normal.
And the veterans believe that commitment will stay the same, even if Prince Harry's royal role does not. Briar Stewart, CBC News, London.
Time to find out who's celebrating. Happy birthday to Victor Baker in Lewisport, who turns 103 this Tuesday. Happy birthday to Louise Butler, who will be 94 on Sunday. And her husband, Dr. Herder Butler, is also celebrating a birthday. He turns 93 on Tuesday. Happy 95th birthday to Edward Cormier of St. Teresa Flat Bay. Happy 60th anniversary to Lillian and Russell Reed of Reedville.
Happy 53rd anniversary to Frank and Diane Manston of Labrador City. Birthday greetings going out to Catherine Paul from Come By Chance. She's turning 91. And birthday greetings to Winston Philpott of Botwood on his 94th birthday. Clarice Barney from Lanzaloo is celebrating his 90th birthday. And happy birthday to Bertha Randall. She turned 105 this week. She was born in Catalina and now lives in St. John's.
Happy 62nd anniversary to Burl and Ford Hancock of Botwood. Congratulations to Watson and Eliza Vivian of Gander, who are celebrating 68 years of marriage. Happy 50th anniversary to Truman and Taffy Dix of Mings Bite. Happy 63rd anniversary to Harry and Shirley LeDrew of Lawrencetown. Happy 55th wedding anniversary to Ray and Eva Bungay of Harbour Breton.
Wishing Wilbur and Betty Moss of Gander a happy 64th wedding anniversary. We're told that they watch us every night. Thanks for that. Happy anniversary to Chesley and Daisy Williams of Mount Pearl, who are celebrating 61 years of marriage. Birthday greetings going out to Irene Hammond of Old Perlican, now living in St. John. She's celebrating her 96th birthday. Happy 94th birthday to Mary Genge Bowers of Pasadena and Anchor Point. She now lives in Corner Brook. Happy 100th birthday to Helen Penny from Hants Harbor, now living in Clark's Beach.
Congratulations to Stanley and Gladys Powell from Stoneville, who celebrated their 54th anniversary this week. Happy 60th anniversary to Beaton and Beatrice Nichols of Reedville. Happy 70th wedding anniversary to Dawn and Louise Sweetapple of Glovertown. They are celebrating today. Happy 57th anniversary to Lloyd and Bernice Wheaton from Fredericton. Happy 91st birthday today to Peter Brett of Clark's Beach.
Happy anniversary to Philip and Joan Bull of Southern Bay. They're celebrating 53 years of marriage. Anniversary greetings to Bert and Rowena Luff of Bishop's Falls. They're celebrating 55 years of marriage. And congratulations to Ben and Mary Rousel from Corner Brook on their 66th wedding anniversary. Happy 62nd anniversary to Kathleen and Samuel Snook of Trout River.
Congratulations once again to everyone who's celebrating.
Yes, what a beautiful shot there, hey?
Gorgeous, look at the blue ocean.
Winter day, windy winter day in at Cape Bonavista, actually, that's where this was taken.
Look at all those rocks covered in snow. What a great shot.
Yes, thank you so much to Ronald for sending that photo in. And if you have any to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Great. Well, Friday, we made it.
We made it.
I hope you have a great evening and a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and hope we'll see you back here on Monday.
Good night.